Hey, good morning, directors, members of the public and staff. Welcome to the February 15th meeting of the Comox Strathcona Regional Hospital District Board. My name is Jake Martins. I'm the General Manager of Corporate Services, and I'm pleased to be calling this meeting to order in order to conduct the election of the chair and vice chair for the board, respectively. I'll start by just acknowledging that we're meeting today on the traditional unceded territory of the Comox First Nation and that the Comox Strathcona Regional Hospital District Service Area includes the Coast Salish, Kwakiwak, and New Toronto territories. In respect of the election process, it is provided for in the hospital district procedure bylaw. But given that this is not the first year we're conducting this, I'll maybe provide a very, very brief overview of the process and then just invite any questions should there be any. So we'll be conducting this election, as I mentioned, in accordance with the procedure bylaw. So I'll be calling for nominations 3 times for each position. Any director may nominate another director for either position. And should there be more than one nomination and that nomination is accepted, we'll then proceed with the election of the position through a secret ballot. For those of you that are participating online, it is a bit challenged to conduct that via secret ballot, as you can appreciate. So we will provide the phone number that you could then text your vote to James Warren, our Chief Administrative Officer. So that's generally how we'll look to conduct the process should an election be required. Are there any questions before we proceed with the nomination process? Seeing none here on the table and no hands being raised online, so we'll start with the election of the chair position first. So I'll call a first time for any nominations for the position of chair. And I will go to Director Mawhinney.
Thank you. I would like to nominate Director Doug Hillian as the chair.
Thank you. I'll call a second time for any nominations for chair. And I'll call a third and final time for any nominations for the position of chair. Seeing none, Director Hillian, do you allow your name to stand? He's confirmed in the affirmative. So with that, congratulations. I'm pleased to announce you as chair for 2024. We'll now move to the vice chair position and same process. So I'll start by calling for any nominations for the position of vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Director Morin.
Thank you, Director Vinesh. Morin. I'll call a second time for any nominations. Director Hillian.
I'd like to nominate Director Grieve.
Director Grieve, thank you. I will call a third time for any nominations for the position of vice chair. Director Hillian.
I'd also like to nominate Director Mawhinney.
Director Mawhinney. Okay, thank you very much. So I'll start with Director Grieve. Do you allow your name to stand for vice chair? Yes.
She's having that. I'll decline at this point in favor of my colleague from North and yours.
Thank you. So Director Grieve has declined the nomination. I will next go to Director Mawhinney. Director Mawhinney has accepted the nomination, and then I'll finally go to Director Morin, which I believe you're online.
Thank you very much for the nomination, but I will decline as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then with that, Director Mawhinney, I'm pleased to announce you've been acclaimed to the position of vice chair. So thank you very much, directors, for your participation in this process. There are no ballots to destroy. And with that, I will turn it over to Chair Hillian to preside over the remainder of the meeting.
Thanks very much, everyone, and thanks to everyone for being here today. I'd particularly like to welcome our representatives from Island Health who are here in the room with us. And I also want to acknowledge that Matthew Jack is with us for the first time in person in some months, and really appreciate seeing you in the Comox Valley, and thanks for the journey that you've made to be here with us today. I should briefly apologize to Director Mawhinney for springing this on her after talking to her earlier this morning. And I also want to acknowledge that Director Grieve served as Vice Chair this past year and was an excellent support. It's not an incredibly onerous role, but there's significant work that we can do together. And I just want to acknowledge that that work will continue, including support for the process of building the new long-term care facility in Campbell River, the healthcare hub in Courtenay, and the grants to local clinics that we're pursuing for our rural areas. With that, we shall move into our agenda for today, and I'd like to ask for a motion to adopt the minutes from December 7th. Moved by Cole Hamilton, second Mawhinney. Any discussion? Anyone opposed? That's carried. And next, we have follow-up from the delegation on December 7th from the Beaufort Family Health Society, their request for grant funding. CAO Warren, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to the board. The practice that the CSRHD has with respect to delegations is that we will bring those items or those requests back to a subsequent board meeting for the board to consider any further action if they so choose. In the case of the Beaufort Family Health Society delegation that was presented on December 7th, the CSRHD chair actually has sent a letter back to the society identifying that they're interested in being included as part of the grant recipients from the CSRHD. It is duly noted and it's appreciated. And as the board knows, we're in the middle of the appeal process with the ministry to have those additional facilities named as recipients for potential funding. So the letter notes that until such time as that appeal has been resolved, we would like to just continue on with that appeal. And then if possible, we would revisit the request from the society in the future.
Thanks for that. Any questions or comments? Okay, we shall move along, and we have item 1 under reports. The report dated February 9th regarding the 2024 recommended budget. So motion for receipt, please.
Second.
Moved by Grant, seconded by Grieve, and over to staff.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. And so today is the presentation of the recommended budget to the hospital board. Lucy Bachark, our Chief Financial Officer, will be making that presentation. And then following that presentation, we do have representatives from Island Health to speak to the 2024-25 capital projects and equipment request. And so I think, Lucy, part of your presentation will also be a segue to the Island Health presentation. So over to you, Lucy.
Thank you. Good morning. Through the CAO and to the chair and the directors, staff are providing the 2024 recommended budget today for your consideration. I'll present with the assistance of our senior financial analyst, Kelly Broden. There is a 3-part process to get to a new budget, and as prescribed by the Hospital District Act, regional hospital districts must prepare and adopt a provisional budget before December 31st. And that provisional budget was considered by the board on December 6th and was